Hello and welcome to this week's PvP guide, today taking a look at control points on the Battle of Kyhlo. First up we have the windmill. This is the northern point on the map and is the red team's back point. It's situated on a fairly large flat open area. Because of this, knockbacks are not overly effective as you can't actually knock a player back off the node. There is also a fence situated towards the back of the node which can be very useful if you are fighting someone who's relying on knockbacks. If you can keep yourself between the fence and the player, they will actually knock you back into the fence and you will actually remain on the node and able to keep it from being neutralised. There are some minimal line of sight options in the area involving some boxes and a barn. However, the barn is situated a little bit far away from the node itself to actually make it really usable to dodge attacks, and the boxes are destroyable. There's also two entrances towards the node, but they're quite a distance away from it, so you can actually see players approaching from quite far away. The downside of this though is of course that they can see you as well and they get an early warning on whether it's defended or not. Because of the distance these entrances are set back from the node and the large open nature of the area around it, there are very few choke points to take advantage of, meaning kiting and movement is very important when fighting on the windmill. Over on the opposite side of the map is the mansion, and this is the mirror image of the windmill. It's the blue team's back point, and again is situated on a flat open area. Again, knockbacks are not too overly effective on it because you can't actually knock anyone back off any ledges really. There is slightly more advantage with choke points however on this node, as the staircase comes in slightly closer to it, meaning you can actually lay down AoEs quite effectively on it to stop anyone coming up, and traps can also be used to slow down approaching enemies. There's a hedge at the back of the node again which can be treated like the fence over at the windmill, and the blue team's trebuchet is visible from here. There's also a raised platform to the side. It's not particularly useful, but it's worth knowing that it is there. Line of sight options are again very minimal, and there's just two stacks of boxes which are destructible which you can use. So the final node located in the centre of the map is the clock tower. The clock tower is very susceptible to incoming trebuchet fire. The two outer walls on the clock tower can actually be destroyed and blown up by it, and it can then land shots inside of it. The clock tower is a fairly confined space, and because of this it makes the trebuchet even more effective. Knockbacks are also really effective on the clock tower. If you can knock a player back at the correct angle, it takes them a fairly long time to actually get back on the node unless they've got some sort of teleportation ability. Area of denial skills can also make them take even longer to get back on the node. So in general you can now see how important guardians are really at controlling this point. The number of area of denial abilities they have and the huge knockback on the hammer makes it a fantastic weapon. There are many entrances and windows to get onto this node. 3 windows on either side give fairly easy access. If you actually have a leap skill you can jump from the central window onto the node itself fairly quickly, and with the longer range leaps like the sword 2 for the warrior you can actually jump from the outer windows onto the node as well. The windows also provide line of sight to the outside node so you can actually see what's going on out there. Ranged players do suffer quite hard actually fighting inside the clock tower because of the confined space. However, because of the windows and the destructible walls, you can actually stand up there and nuke down onto the node, fairly safe from actually being attacked. There is also a hidden skylight right above the node. This will cause you to take falling damage if you try to jump from the skylight onto the node itself, which will put you in a bad position if you're coming up against an opponent. However, it gives you a fairly good chance to actually nuke down and lay down AoEs onto the node if you want to. So I hope you all enjoyed the episode. This concludes our look at the control points on the Battle of Kyhlo. If you have any other useful information, why not leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. On Friday we're going to be back with an advanced guide looking at team setups and strategies involving the Battle of Kyhlo, so don't forget to tune back in for that. We'll see you all then.